say, I just want to get on here and say that those so-called friends of Nolan Ryan, Nolan Wells, the so-called friends of Nolan Wells are liars. For instance, the boy sitting on the couch, the white boy sitting on the couch with Officer Tatum, stated out his own mouth. He said, the last time I saw Nolan, he was hooked up with that Katie girl. And then he must have forgot what he said, because then he said, well, the boat started having problems, and my buddy, he was calling for Nolan to get on the boat. He said, hey, Nolan, come on, get on the boat. How could you state that the last time you saw him, he was with that, hooked up with that Katie girl, and then you turn around and make a statement and say that your friend was yelling at him to get on the boat? That means he was in eyesight. So that means your story is conflicting. Your story is contradicting one statement to another. What needs to happen is those boys and girls, whoever was there as a whole, as a group, should be hauled down to the police department and put in separate interrogation rooms. They need to be interrogated. The stories ain't adding up. How many lies is it going to take for his so-called friends to sit around and do interviews and nobody sees nothing wrong with that? And also, the police didn't investigate nobody. They didn't interrogate nobody. They received third-party messages from parents, from other friends, stating what these witnesses know. Oh, well, she told me, he said this. That is hearsay. Just like Nancy Grace asked Officer Tatum, well, who told you those kids had lie detector tests? He gonna tell Nancy Grace, oh, the kids told me themselves. They told me that they had the lie detector tests. That's like letting a criminal investigate themselves. That's what that is. There's mad things wrong with this Nolan Wells case. It's a big cover-up. How many lies are people going to listen to before they say, something just ain't right? Something's just ain't right about this. Like I said, he stated out his own mouth. Last time I seen Nolan, he was hooked up with that Katie girl. And then turn around in the next sentence and say, well, we had problems with the boat, and my buddy, he said, come on, Nolan, get the F on the boat. Come on, we're leaving. How could you have last seen him hooked up with the Katie girl, but now you're saying your friend was calling him to get on the boat? That means he was in eyesight. So something's wrong with that story. They're all lying. Officer Tatum needs to stop, because he's a gaslighter and a bootlick. All he doing is lying. Just like I said earlier in my earlier live, you got a videotape of someone committing a crime. Let's use Robert Brooks for an example. The officers were recording themselves beating that man to death, and then turned around and wrote a report that was so far from the truth. I don't know why they keep letting these people get away with lying. All they do is lie all day. The president lied, the press secretary lied, the news lied, everybody's lying. But then you want to come out and say, oh, if Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump keep on instilling separation in our community, we're going to press. How you going to press charges? Because people, how you going to call that a crime? Because people want answers. People are sick. The news lie. I seen a news clip 2 days ago. They're gonna say, people are wondering, what happened to Nolan Wells? And then the news gonna say, we're waiting for the toxicology report. And while she's stating that they're waiting for the toxicology report, they shun the camera towards an empty Smirnoff bottle on the beach. You people are ignorant. You're tasteless. You're despicable. I believe you don't care because you know that you're going to hell. That's why you do what you do, because you know you're going to hell. So you continue on with the bullshit. Just like President Trump said, I don't think I'm going to heaven. I know you know you're going to hell because of your actions, the way you live, the way you lie. You try to cover up crimes. You minimize the crimes of white people, but you want to maximize the crimes that black people do. Like I said earlier, how in the world P. Diddy get 5 years in prison when everybody that was in the circle that was doing that nonsense they were adults. They were consenting adults, and they even have record of those consenting adults calling up escorts and paying them out of their own pocket. P. Diddy wasn't even there all the time. They have a testimony that one of the girls called the escort when she was in New York, and she paid him for sex. It don't make sense. But then you got this white female mayor who throws a kiddie party for children, gives them alcohol, and then she's in a back room, off in a back room somewhere, having sexual pleasures with the kid. And you know what they gave her? Probation. I don't know what's wrong with this country. This country is ass backwards. I mean, it's crime after crime. White people commit all these crimes and they get leniency. They get pardons. Oh, I'm gonna just go out here and I'm gonna rob a bank. Because they not gonna do nothing to me. I'm white. I'll probably get maybe about 3 weeks of community service. I can do that standing on my head after I rob this bank because I got all this money over here. I'm going to go out and off somebody. They're not going to give me no time. I'm going to beat the case. That lady who did that with her child, with that young boy, that mayor, that white female mayor, did that with that young boy, she should have got 20 years or more. They gave her probation. These people find themselves not guilty. It's a shame. That's what it is. It's a damn shame. Man, sometimes I just can't take it no more. Like, I'm gonna give you an example, right? We had a governor here in New Jersey. Her name was Christy Whitman, right? So there was a time where prisoners can get food packages on the special holidays and stuff like that from their family members. And the food packages come, you can get fried chicken, a homemade baked cake, whatever you wanted for your family to send in, right? And Christy Whitman, our governor, took that away, right? Took it away, trying to be somebody that she's not. Like, you know what I mean? She was just mad that the prison was getting food. But guess what happened? Her daughter killed somebody in a head-on collision. And because her daughter had to go to prison, she tried to fight to get the food packages back. Ain't that some shit? You people are evil.